Welcome to the commentary booth where we watch and you guessed it, commentate on the week that was in movies and TV. I'm your host and play-by-play commentator Jamie Epps, and each week I'm joined by a rotating cast of colour commentators to help you find your next viewing treat. This week I'm joined by a special guest, Pario Magazine's Victorian correspondent. Welcome to the show, Jason Hauth.
Thank you. Very nice to be here again.
So we're back again for what is now officially the highest paid wrestling show of all time with, what was it, 81,035 attended at AEW's All In from Wembley Stadium in London.
You got to make sure you emphasize the word stadium.
I almost said arena, so I was like, wait, nope, it's not arena.
Yep.
That'd be very squishy in the arena.
Yeah, it's every time you say it, you must emphasize the word paid and stadium. That is what I noticed throughout the whole show, was emphasize we are in Wembley Stadium with the highest paid ever crowd.
Yeah, because I think it's that North Korea show is still like the highest attended.
Oh yeah, the highest ever attended, and that can never, ever, ever be beaten.
It's because there's no rules to attendance there. It's just jam as many people in as we can. There's no health and safety.
Well, there is
safety rules.
That was more the fact of, would you like to live or would you like to die? You have two options in that aspect of things, and I think it's also by saying paid. That way, when WWE does, this week's SmackDown, and they claim that there's like
187,000 people there, like,
yeah, it's like, cool. Didn't know you get that into the Now Arena, and yeah, it's like, that's weird. I didn't know that arena could hold double its capacity. Awesome.
Well, that was like,
so I think that's why it's emphasizing the word paid.
Yeah, it's like when the Mania tickets for Philly went on sale, and they're like, oh, we sold 90,000 tickets on the first day. It's like, there's a big difference between 90,000 on one day versus 90,000 across 2 days.
Yeah, but then you got to change the goalpost by saying it's the highest grossing ever in history, and it's the biggest grossing and biggest paid event because, yeah,
it is very annoying.
Shocker. Yeah, it's more moving the goalposts because, again, remember this was a show that was only meant to sell, was it 40,000 seats? I think that's all it was set up for. Remember, it was only 40,000 is what the venue set up for, and then it was Tony Khan bought the 40,000 seats, and yeah, I've got to say, AI is getting incredible. Like, the amount of people that were AI generated and CGI'd into those seats was just insane.
Yeah, I did like that, in the post-scrum, Tony was like, there was 81,035 was purely paid tickets with...
And then 7,000
with the comps, you're looking at 90. I was like, that's ridiculous. That is huge.
Yeah.
But he also included like ushers and stuff in that 90,000 too. But between the free tickets and then the staff, there was 90,000 people in the building.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
And considering the amount of security on that floor, like every time like you would see like a wide shot where you had
all
like
the high visors running around.
And then, and like high visors, and like I'm used to like WWE show where there's like there's decent number of security guards, but this was like. They're used to soccer crowds. They're ready to full on punch on 20 security guards on one guy levels. Yeah. Was like, okay, there was a lot of security there.
And then on those panning wide shots, I thought they looked epic, and like they milked those wide shots, especially in the pre-show. We got so many like. Crane panning shots of the whole crowd, and then we even got like overhead cameras at times. It's like,
they had the zip line camera going along.
We're milking the hell out of the size of this stadium.
Oh yeah,
and it was cool to see. Like, I only watched the second hour of the pre-show because they only promoted it as an hour, didn't they? Yeah,
and also I wasn't waking up at 1 a.m. in the morning.
Like, I got up at 2 because I thought that's the time it started, and no, it started at 1. But it was cool, even in that hour that I watched, to see the stadium go from half full to like absolutely packed by opening match.
Yeah, the Brits know how to properly and organize get there when it says you be there at 5, you get there at 5 and you're in your seat by 5. Not showing up halfway throughout the show and shit like that.
Yeah.
Which is wild considering the several WrestleManias I've been to where you're lucky to get to your seat. If you get there at 10 o'clock in the morning, you're lucky to get to your seat by 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Because they're so fucking disorganized.
Because, like, that's because, I know with the soccer and stuff, a lot of the times the stadiums don't let you actually take drinks and food to your seat. You have to like, eat it up in the concourse section so that they don't end up with fucking rubbish and shit everywhere, and so you can't throw drinks on the field. So I think they're used to, like, you get there early, you go, you eat, and then just as it's about to kick off, you flood to your seat.
Yeah, and, they also know how to queue. They love a good queuing and a good line versus Americans. Let's just stampede our way through this.
Double or nothing.
And it's
just... Let's all try and go through the one door. Like, there's fucking 10 doors. What are we doing?
Yeah, exactly that. Like, you could tell in the crowd who was British and who was American, just based off the fact of there's a very nice formal queue there. There's 10 guys trying to barge through one door. Yeah, I wonder.
That was annoying at Double or Nothing, where it's like, we're all trying to form these lines, and then there's people just coming from the side. Like, what are you doing? There's clearly lines.
Yeah,
let's line up.
Yeah, no, we just force our way through Stampede style.
You get in much quicker if you line the fuck up.
No, you get in quicker if you barge your way through and cause a mayhem. Just, it's logic. So it was incredible seeing those nice shots of everything, though.
Yeah,
it was.
They
massive.
definitely got their money's
that
worth
arena
stadium. Like, it's nuts.
Oh yeah. And then even photos I've seen from like my mates there, just taking photos of their iPhones and shit like that. It's like, wow, this is massive and set up properly.
Yeah, the ring looked tiny. Even with the canopy, it still looked like it was a speck in the middle of that stadium.
There was no room for anything on the outside other than on the ramp.
I thought that too. Well, the guardrails were really close.
They were like indie style setup. It was literally set up like an indie. Like, we only have this amount of room. We've got
one width of padding. We don't have two.
Yeah, exactly. Because we need to get an extra row of people into this venue, so we have to kind of remove the padding around the ring. They're in Wembley Stadium. I don't think they were that. But I think the trust thing they had was probably more set up for boxing events where there is no fighting on the outside of the boxing ring. So you don't need, they're not hitting suicidas in a boxing ring.
Yeah, because all the dives were like very much indie style, like towards the ramp where it's open.
Yeah, which
there was
was funny to see.
Like hard cam or anything like that.
Yeah, because it was the same like during the Stadium Stampede match, like you seen the side, and I'm like, that's insane. And page match with the front row interactions, it's like, okay, there's no room for error.
I liked that, and the canopy was definitely purely just there just in case it rained, because it is England, and to hang the lights off.
But I think it was more for the lights and the sound system and that, because I swear midway through the show they were opening and closing that roof a lot.
The roof doesn't open and close.
But then again, it was also dark. No, doesn't it?
It's open all the time.
I'm an idiot. Oh, okay. I thought it was closed, but then because I'm looking at it going, man, that roof looks really dark, and then I realized it's probably the night sky.
It just turned to nighttime halfway through the show.
Yeah.
It was like a
It's 4 a.m. in the morning. Okay, the brain was not working.
It's like a Cali mania, where it's like starts in the afternoon, it's bright and sunny, and then all of a sudden it's dark, and you're like, oh, okay, nighttime now.
Yeah, it literally goes nice sunny and then pitch black. There are two settings, and
which is definitely why Sting and House of Black were towards the end of the show.
Yeah,
because their entrances would have sucked in the sun.
Yeah, exactly. That makes a way more sense now that I think about it, because I'm like, man, they're really high-end loading this card. Like, this is very... Which was good, because it kept me awake.
Yeah, the front of the front half of the card was stacked.
Yeah, and I was kind of glad that towards the end, I'm like, okay, cool, I have time to get up and make a coffee and do stuff, versus, even though none of the matches were any... There was no break matches. It was just more of a... I'm confident that during the 6-man tag, I can get up and make a coffee while watching the screen still, instead of, Stadium Stampede, where it's just like, I turn my head for 5 seconds and, someone's jumped off a barricade or,
because can you imagine how crappy that House of Black entrance would have looked if it was still bright and sunny?
Yeah, that is, because that's like...
It's like Undertaker, it's like when Undertaker makes an early entrance at Mania and Cali, and
you're like, Yeah, it's like that whole, like, all right, we got to drag this show out. Why? Oh, yeah, Undertaker needs a dark entrance, so everyone's got an extra 20 minutes on every match. So, yeah, it was nice that it did start. I love a WrestleMania that starts when it's nice and sunny on the pre-show. And, like, it's nice and bright. It's a contrast of the two. The start of it was super bright and that, and the end of it's, like, dark and fireworks and, spectacular looking. But, yeah.
And did you catch the Grado segment on the pre-show?
No, I did not see Guitar Man. I'm upset by that. Damn, my body need for sleep.
You didn't miss it by much.
All I see was... I am kind of... I'm a little annoyed about that, because I was very confused while I'm, like, scrolling through. I'm like, what's with this Grado? What did I miss? Yeah. And it wasn't till I'm, like, messaging you, like, did I miss something? He's like, yeah, there's a whole hour. Oh.
Yeah, because I got up, turned it on, opened YouTube, and, like, the pre-show, it said live, and I was like, okay, it's just... They've had it, like, start 15 minutes early so that there's none of that, like... YouTube premiere thing where it gives you the shitty countdown.
Yeah.
And I turned it on, and it was just like a highlight video package of leading up to the MJF Cole match. I was like, okay, cool. They've just been playing the hype promo videos, and then they cut and they had like the countdown, and they're like an hour and 10 minutes to go, and I was like, wait, what? How long has this been going for?
Yeah, what?
And then I looked on Twitter, and there were people like, oh, yeah, Renee opened with a Bray Wyatt quote, and I was like, and that was tweeted 40 minutes ago.
Yeah, I've seen that.
What the heck?
Yeah, I think that's how I worked it out. Yeah, I was like, wait a second, what? Wait, what? Why is that clock? Yeah, and because everyone was saying, hey, the MJF match starts at at 2 a.m. That's when it starts.
Because like 10-2, we got Jeff Jarrett come out and cut the America is better, basically. Wrestling only exists because of American wrestlers and American promoters. Highlighted all the famous American promoters except for the most famous American promoter.
Wow, I wonder who that was.
And then we got him. He was interrupted by Big Show, Anthony Ogogo, and then Grado as his third backup to help take out Satnam, Jarrett, and Lethal. They came in, took out everyone. Jarrett was left, and then Grado smashed a guitar over Jarrett's head. I was like,
I did see that cool clip, yeah.
And got a big pop too.
I did see everyone say, yeah. I did also see people saying that Tony Khan was able to get the rights to a lot of music that I was very shocked by, but he couldn't get Madonna's. It's like you've got all these connections, Wembley, Warner Brothers, everything like that. But no, you're not getting Madonna. It's just
could have, but I can't imagine it would have been cheap for a Grado entrance.
Yeah, it's like, cool. We'll drop 100k on Sting. Yeah, we'll drop another 100k for Soraya. Yeah, I'll do another 100k over here. That's cool, whatever. Yeah, Grado 100k for event that wasn't even really advertised at all. Yeah, no.
Deal with it.
Yeah. So, yeah, it was, by the sense I didn't miss much, even with the Will Hobbs, Wayne stuff as well.
Stuff you can go back and just watch the highlights of. Yeah,
so, other than that, And then it kicks off hour 2 is where shit really starts to get going.
Yeah, so we got the ROH tag titles. A couple of the things I wrote down were I really liked the clean graphics, the graphics they had for the names and stuff in this show. They were really cool.
Yeah, everything looked very polished. It wasn't like a scrappy, like the first. Because I can't remember, like, did the first All In have really? I think they had super clean graphics as well.
I think they just had like basic black bars with like a red outline or a red highlight or something.
Oh yeah, they did. Yeah,
with the design,
generic, fonts.
There was nothing like.
So
these were like pretty complex graphics, but they were clean and looked really good.
Yeah,
with the like red and blue aesthetic. I was like, okay, but definitely leaning into the Union Jack colors.
Yeah, because England, and it was Aussie Open being the first ones out as well was
huge,
really cool. Yeah, really, really cool. It's like,
booed hardcore too.
Oh yeah, which is weird considering like
they're almost a local team.
They are very UK based. Like they're as UK as most of the others on that sort of thing there. But yeah, I think they're just shitty because Australia did they win that sports cricket game thingy? There was a couple of months ago. Oh, okay, yeah, they're probably just upset about that thing.
Yeah, but then they beat us in soccer, so fuck them.
True. But all I can say is this is just documented proof that I do know sports thingies, and sporting events that aren't just play fights. But yeah, Aussie Open coming out was pretty deep, and yeah, that pop for MJF with their remix theme.
Yeah, that was loud. And then I loved that, like, to increase that boo that Aussie Open were getting, they like jump started the match and cut off the boom entrance.
Yeah,
that's when they really got some heat. Like, oh, okay.
Yeah. And it was funny because, MJF and Adam Cole in house show B mode with t-shirts on the whole match is funny. And, what was it? Damn it, there was something. Aussie Open did something stupid. Oh man, I cannot freaking now. Now my mind's starting to blank out on me now.
Did you see the blow up kangaroo in the crowd?
Yeah, that
was pretty fun.
Yeah, I love. Yep, that was a good. That's
like
it. Yeah,
that's the AEW All In equivalent of the beach ball.
Yeah, it's just he's a giant kangaroo. Like I'm kind of shocked no one threw that in the ring.
I think it was,
but I think again it's the UK.
And it
they
was
know
way high up in the stadium.
Yeah, they didn't pass it all the way down. That was it because everyone was everyone's like, oh, why are you having MJF in that open the show? The pop's going to be absolutely shithouse for the end of the show. You ruin the pop. And like during the press conference, MJF is like, did you not hear it? The pop at the start was great, but the pop for my main event entrance was the biggest.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Like it was, you know what I mean? Like
the main event at all.
Yeah, that's it. But people were like, "Oh, it's going to hurt the main event. It's going to hurt the main event," and no, didn't. And
I don't think it hurt the main event.
Yeah,
it didn't help it either. It didn't do anything to
make
it even more exciting.
Right.
I thought they could have teased a bit more of like dissension between the two to increase the heat in the main, but they didn't. They just went with, let's hit the kangaroo kick, which got a great reaction.
Yeah, double clothesline. Yeah. I lose my shit. It's just so dumb and funny as the kangaroo kick and MJF's way of like doing the thing.
The
it's
preamble
just like,
to the actual kick was dumb, but the kick looked cool.
Yeah, the kick was good. He did it like he's definitely been studying his kangaroos.
Good. And
then the
outcome.
Double clothesline.
I was pretty shocked with the outcome.
Yeah, I thought Roderick Strong was going to run in and cause a distraction, and Cole eats the pin or something like that. Like
I thought that MJF would just he would see Cole being pinned and then just decide I'm not going to help him, and build that a bit more. But they didn't. They were just like, no, they're just going to have them win. I was like,
I thought it'd be Cole would be the one to turn around and go, yeah, nah, buddy. Oh, yeah, you just ate the Coriolis effect. Oh,
it's
I'm just gonna sit out here, and ah, man, my foot was playing up. You know, I thought that, or like Roderick Strong was going to do something to mess it up.
Continue what they've
But
been
instead,
building
they
with
saved
like
all that shit.
Cole like teasing turning on him for weeks, and then like they could have just had him like not turn, but also not save him.
Exactly, that's it. It's like you know, was his foot actually stuck in the ropes or whatever?
Like have him
you know,
dive
was it an
in to like
accident,
make the
wasn't it?
save, but like
Yeah.
miss it by like half a second.
But nah, instead, Aussie Open got their little tag title run and then dropped them immediately.
Which is like,
And
where do they go from here now?
it's one of those things. Like
FTR?
like it's one of those things. Like surely Aussie Open get them back.
Do they go back after the
You know
ROH
what I mean?
belts, or do they get pushed up to FTR?
Like they do like a rematch in like 2-3 weeks, and that's when the shenanigans happen that Aussie Open are able to capture back their belts, and then they fuck off to Ring of Honor or whatever.
Yeah, or maybe
That's-
they might hold that for the next ROH pay per view because that's a ticket.
Because that's the thing is it's kind of it's the new version of the can they coexist storyline where they win the tag belts. You know, WWE used to do it every freaking year when Cena was facing a face in the main event of WrestleMania. It's like, oh, they're tag champs, but can they coexist?
Yeah, I'm thinking
Drama.
Aussie Open get pushed up to go against FTR,
Nah,
and then
I'd say it was Santana.
and then
But yeah,
the Kingdom end up taking the tag titles.
oh yeah. Well, that was the
ROH
other thing. Was
titles.
like, is this way
that
for
seems to
Kingdom?
make a lot of
Yeah,
sense.
yeah, and
'Cause
that's the
that
thing.
ties in with the whole MJF Cole storyline.
Yeah, and that's the thing is, is that where you do the whole, Cole was, man, I was just a little bit too late getting back in the ring. Oh, well, my buddies won the tag belts. Oh, what a shame my friends are now tag champs. Oh, damn, that sucks. But yeah, it was a good opener. It was nice, quick, easy, digestible opening.
Yeah, and they didn't do anything
Yeah.
to like potentially risk getting hurt for the main as well, which was smart.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it wasn't a 5-star classic, nowhere close to it, but it was a decent, house show
Let's just hit
tag match.
a bunch of cool, fun spots that'll get a nice pop, and then get in, get out.
Exactly that. It served its purpose.
Almost like
yeah, Adam.
Scott Green at Rock and Roll Wrestling on the weekend. He was in a rumble, came out with a bag of burger rings and a bag of salt and vinegar chips. Got the crowd to be like, do you like these ones? Or do you like these ones? Do you like these ones? Or do you like these ones? And then just got thrown over top rope. That was his whole spot in the rumble. I was like, that was an easy night for you.
Yeah, that's smart work. Work smarter, not harder. And that's, yeah. I only realized during the press conference, MJF and Adam Cole opened and closed the show. It took me a while to realize that one. And MJF opened the last All In, and he opened this one, and he's closed out this one. Yeah, it was like, okay, cool. That's nice because like AEW love that kind of like thread storytelling of like, looking back at the history books of, that's a cool trend of events of things. So yeah,
And then
it was good.
after the match, the most sort of newsworthy moment, Mercedes Monet popping up in the crowd. Like, okay, random.
Yeah, that's
not the spot where I expected this to be.
I thought we were going to go talk about the next very noteworthy thing that happened during the show, but that was after this aspect here. Yeah, when she posts, I'm just on the London Eye with, I think I wouldn't be like, I'm shocked. I think she's upset she couldn't get a photo of her on the London Eye with London Bridge and Buckingham Palace all in the same photo with a giant sign that says "Welcome to London" on it. So, everyone can turn around while she's like wearing a freaking like a Beefeater's hat with the Union Jack.
Yeah, it was like subtle, but not subtle. It's like, hey, I'm in London.
It was not subtle at all. Yeah. Because it was also, like, as I messaged you, like, I think she posted it as well at 7 a.m. in the morning. So it was,
it was prime time for both countries.
Yeah, it was, oh, the UK reacts, and then once the UK's finished reacting, the Americans will, like, the chain of events. Yeah, and it's like, wow, I wonder why. And yeah, during the post-show press conference, Tony Khan did make it sound like he brought her in just to show it off, going, hey, this is what we can do here. If you join us, this is what you can get out of it.
Yep.
So
yeah, apparently she's not cleared.
I'm sure
I saw a photo. I don't know how legit
Yeah,
it
yeah,
was,
no,
but she's
yeah,
still in a
yeah.
moon boot. So,
Yeah.
which is
So-
probably true because all the photos that she posted are from like the knees up.
Yeah, yeah. And plus also, yeah, would she give away foot content? That's big money apparently.
Not if she's in shoes.
I'm pretty sure there are people out there that would pay. It's not my area of expertise,
Sure, it's
but I just assume there's, I'm sure that you could have people that you could message and they'll be like, oh yeah, no, yeah, there's a market out there. I could make a lot of money selling to that.
Gross.
And then so Monet in the crowd just chilling out.
And then we went
Nice look.
to Hook versus no longer Jungle Boy,
Yep.
Jack Perry.
Yep.
I thought this was a fun match. This was definitely
This was
Jungle at his most vicious and savage.
Definitely made him look, definitely Jungle Boy's dead.
Mm-hmm.
After in this match really helps. Yeah, he looks
This is Hollywood Jack
vicious.
Perry now.
Yep. And did you know it was real glass?
Oh my god, that was so good.
Yep.
This is real
And
glass.
then,
You're going to cry about it, and then apparently a nice backstage fight, which is interesting.
Yeah. Yep. It was funny because I was talking to my partner and she's like, "Oh, how'd the show go?" Good. There was a fight backstage. She's like, "Oh, of course there was." And I gave her I'm like, yeah, he wanted to use glass, was told don't. So he said on TV, this is real glass, and got punched in the mouth for it. And she's like, she was waiting for me to go to the next part of the story. I'm like, that's it. And she's like, that's the full story. They got a punch on over glass. I'm like, yes. Because, here she's expecting it to escalate, thinking no one's going to get a punch on over glass.
Wrestling.
Yeah, AEW. Anything can happen. Yeah, wrestling in general is weird. So, yeah, it was good. Beat the shit out of each other all over that car.
Yeah, I loved
which is
loved
nice.
the Rolling Thunder RVD spot. That was pretty cool.
Oh, yeah. I thought Van Dam was coming out for sure.
And then did you hear the Jungle Wanker chant as well? That popped me.
Yeah. I heard that one. I've been trying to find old clips popping up of people chanting really dumb things the whole show, which is amazing.
English crowd's always good for that.
Oh yeah, that's half the reason why I want to go to an English show just to be a part of hearing some of the greatest chants of. I didn't even know you could make that into a chant, but I'm impressed.
And then we went back to the panel talking segment. And did you notice what Big Show called Punk?
Yeah, Phil.
I was like, wait, what?
Mate.
I'm surprised Phil didn't punch him for that.
He's been banned from Collision already.
Yeah, no more Big Show on Collision ever.
Paul White is no longer allowed on
that'll
Collision.
Be the next headline. Big Show kicked out of Collision.
Yeah,
on
that's.
Friday.
Yeah, you know what I mean. There'd just be this. Hey, why is the Big Show not here? He was banned. The one episode of Collision that Punk's not on. Yeah, that's completely valid. Completely valid reason.
But the most controversial moment of the entire show for me. What sort of Brit is Kip Sabian if he doesn't drink tea?
Yeah, that I was like,
wait, what?
I'm shocked there wasn't a riot and start from that.
I thought Anthony Ogogo was going to fight him over that.
Yeah, I legitimately thought that was going to punch on number 2 of the night. It's but so there was a fight over glass, and then someone doesn't drink tea, so there's a fight over tea. Just being a normal sentence when it comes to wrestling.
Yeah, when he's like, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't drink tea. I was like, huh? Are you even English?
What? Yeah, that is just weird. And yeah, I will admit the panel segments were actually pretty cool.
Yeah, I think if I'd watched a full hour of them before this, they would have been a bit much. But the couple that I saw,
they weren't insulting your intelligence. Yeah, but they didn't feel like they were insulting your intelligence with catchphrases
like kayfabe.
WWE ones. Yeah, WWE ones of, oh, this is my quacky this, and yeah, you know who I reckon's going to win the Money in the Bank? Oh, who's going to win the Royal Rumble? Kalisto. Kalisto's my man to win the Royal Rumble, and it's
he's definitely not.
What? You know what I mean? It's just, yeah, there was no insulting of your, massively insulting your intelligence throughout it. So, but yeah, it was good, and then I think that was it for the pre-show.
Yeah, something I did notice with those panel segments though was they were heavily pushing the Will Ospreay as coming up to being a free agent angle.
Yeah,
they were really jamming that home.
Yeah, I think it's extremely safe to say Ospreay is not going to resign with New Japan.
It definitely seems like there's a bit of a handshake. We're all good.
Oh, there's going on here. I'm sure there's more. I'm sure there's a. We haven't signed Will Ospreay to a contract. We've signed Bill Ospreay to an account, or Billiam, or something like, whatever his full legal. You know what I mean? Like, it's not Will Ospreay. It's Bill Ospreay has signed this. It's totally a different person. Do not look too deep into it. Sort of thing there. Yeah, they've hit the nail on the head with that one.
Yeah, like you just look at his run recently. He's beaten Okada, Jericho, Naito.
Yeah.
Who else?
Yeah, Ospreay, Okada. I mean, Omega.
Tana. Like, he's beaten the top guys in both promotions. Like, both companies are pushing pretty hard to get this guy locked down. I just feel like
to think,
hey, you just had a pretty high-profile match in the biggest stadium in your home country. I think that might knock it over the line for you.
Yeah, and that was it was very, very much a Ospreay showing as well. So I saw someone tweet about, like, if you go back and listen to Kevin Nash talking about, like, his sort of last few years as an active in-ring competitor, he talked about, like, people creating, his opponents creating the momentum for the matches, and him just kind of, like, basically standing in the middle and, like, reacting and taking bumps and, like, hitting them with big stuff in the middle and not actually moving around all that much. That was definitely Jericho in that match. Like, oh yeah, I was going to go more into it.
He wasn't running heaps. He was kind of just taking bits and pieces, and Will was doing everything.
I would say, like, Jericho's definitely showing his age. There's just no way it's a... But, there's never been a Jericho match where I've sat there and watched. Like, there's been a couple of duds he's done, but there's none of his... Every high-profile match of Jericho has been... Jericho just delivered. At least he's always looked good. He's never been exposed. Holy shit, this exposed him. This was the... Oh, shit. There's no smoke and mirrors. Ospreay... I don't think it was Ospreay's fault at all. I don't think it was him deliberately exposing him or whatever. I just think it was just... He's just so fucking fast and good. Jericho
looked real slow.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, there's nothing he could have done there. I think it's just... Ospreay is just so fast and so good that he exposed a lot of weaknesses there.
Yeah, like, the story was still good, but yeah, there was definitely moments where it's like...
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that was a rough looking, like, Jericho hitting the Os cutter and Jericho doing a couple of things like...
Oh, yeah, his muscle memory was... Yeah, muscle memory is lion salt, and... Yeah, it's like, oh, no, shit, whoops, and tried to
spike himself.
Overcorrect.
Like, ooh.
Yeah. So, yeah, no, he's... Ospreay's whole contract thing is a nice change of pace than the bidding war of 2024.
Yeah, two very high-profile free agents coming up at the start of the year. So, onto the main card. Show kicked off with Tony Khan just going balls to the wall, putting some insane matches back to back here.
Yeah, which is great for us because you can't fall asleep during any of these matches, which is beautiful.
And just like the political landscape of the matches that were back to back.
Yeah,
Jungle Boy,
like
Punk,
everyone was
the
like,
Golden Elite, and then the Bucks and FTR. It's like, holy Jesus!
Yeah.
Why would put these four matches right next to each other?
It was like everyone was like, "Oh, okay, cool." So Kenny and what's we called Punk definitely had a punch on. Like everyone was thinking, "Okay, that definitely happened." Then it's like there was a punch on. It's just not what you.
And it wasn't anyone.
Just somehow. Yeah, it wasn't anyone in the Elite that punched on this time.
But there was one common thread between the brawl in and the brawl out.
Yeah, that's shit.
But yeah,
they're just gonna change. I can't wait to see what happens next week. Now, I really can't wait to see what happens next week.
The show kicked off with CM Punk versus Samoa Joe for the real AEW World Title.
Punk. Joe looked
pretty great. Joe was dominant.
Yeah, Punk.
Hit almost like a giant swing through the front of the table, that was a cool spot.
That was so good. That was perfect. Like difference enough to
it was still like the announce table spot, but in a new, fresh way. I was like, that's cool.
Yeah. Instead of going through it, instead of going into it, he literally went through it. So, the whole match was just, they really. It was way better than the other one that they had, the Rampage one, which was a lot more time constrained. Yeah. So,
lots of tributes. Tribute to Cena, a tribute to Hogan, tribute to Funk.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yep.
Not expecting.
It's the three that you'd expect from Punk. Yeah, it's when I seen him I seen him start. I'm like, no.
Yeah, he went for the 5-knuckle shuffle.
And then instead it just hits a leg drop and does the ear thing and does the freaking leg drop.
Like, oh wow.
It's just
so full nostalgia mode.
Yeah, at least Punk can say he may not have main evented the show, but at least he's wrestled on a Wembley show, unlike Hogan claims that he
Hogan wrestled on a Wembley show. He just that kid didn't die at the Wembley show.
No, it was at the Wembley Arena, if anything. He never wrestled on Wembley Stadium.
Okay.
Yeah, Wembley Stadium was 92, and Hogan was, gone by then.
Okay.
So that's what makes
Hogan
it even
is mental.
more...
He just loves to lie about everything.
I'm sure there's a whole episode you could do of just going through Hogan's lies and just being like... You could play a game of, is this a real Hogan lie or is this something I made up, and it'd be impossible to tell.
You wouldn't be able to tell the difference.
But hey, he's been on the show, but Hogan once wrestled 2 times in the same day in 2 different, wrestled twice in the same day somehow by flying from Japan back to America. That's how I was able to. That's how I was able to wrestle 400 days in a year.
And then, the final sort of big tribute spot was Punk going back into the locker room and hitting his Pepsi plunge for the finish, which was... I was so glad.
I thought you were about to say him going back into the locker room and, punching on with talent again. And I was going to be like, that happened before the match,
no,
not
dug
afterwards.
into his locker and hit the Pepsi plunge, which was really cool. It looked way better than the GTS that he hit in Collision the other week. So it was definitely the better finish to go with. And cool,
And it's... Yeah, and also a good tribute to, again, a Ring of Honor feud. Why not do the Ring of Honor move?
And that's a move where, you hit that on Joe, he's not getting up, because that's a big dude landing on his face.
Yeah. Yeah, Joe took that very well, and it delivered. I was saying to, jury watching, I'm like, man, there's no duds on this show. I think the worst match is probably, a 4-star is considered the lowest, rated match on the show, on the main card, at least. It kicked off a really... absolutely fire first half.
Yeah, and the whole show, there was no they showed the highlight promo packages before every match, but they were short, 60 seconds. There was
Oh
no.
yeah,
Oh,
it was.
here's
Hey,
a
we need to get ring
3-minute
mates.
history of this whole feud. Like, here's the feud cut down to 60 to 90 seconds.
Yeah,
I barely
a
had time to
lot
go to
of
the
it
bathroom.
was. Yeah, that was it. It was like, hey, we need to like sweep the ring and like just rubbing alcohol over the ropes for safety reasons. Here's a quick 30-second package while
Like,
we do that. To keep
even
you
after
distracted.
Stadium Stampede, where they had to go and like change the ring, they got
Yeah,
through
that was
quick.
so quick.
Like, holy Jesus.
Yeah, mind you, I think they were already pulling things apart as it was like going into like the final swing of things. They were already had the stage and everything already pulled apart and cleaned up and like done. So that
It
was
was just pull the top
very
canvas
like
off. Good to go.
yeah, like that was insane how quickly they were packing shit up. During that whole match.
And then my next note after Punk Joe is awkward gorilla question mark, because the next match was the Golden Elite versus the Bang Bang Gang.
Yeah,
That's got to be awkward when Punk comes back and Kenny and Hangman are standing there, and I'm like, oh Jesus.
yeah.
But I
And it's
noticed
like, come on,
too,
say something smart now.
with the way that their entrances were. Bullet Club came out
Yeah.
first. It was quite a lengthy entrance, so Punk probably had time to go out, back, and get away before.
Yeah.
Because
The
even
legally
even
recommended.
Coda came out before Hangman and then Kenny. Like, it was a very staggered entrances.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, they've set it up so there's enough time for Punk to get away.
Yeah, we need to have legally. They must be within half of stadium away from each other. So we had to, allow
Like,
for
they were
that.
probably there, but they would have just been able to, like, you stay all the way over there for a minute and then come to this spot.
Yeah. So yeah, that was good. The trios match again served its spot really. You know what I mean? Like they really went through the motions of everything.
It feels weird to say that this
the one thing I
six-man
did
is probably the weakest match on the card, though.
Yeah, it was definitely, like I said, it was a New Japan, like one of those random New Japan show main events, like the road to
the
main
random
event.
midweek
Yeah,
show.
yeah, just a random midweek road to a major show main event, and like there was literally nothing negative. The thing is, I will say this show was very fucking botchy. A lot of blown spots throughout it, like Kota Ibushi doing the golden triangle
off the bottom
slipped.
rope.
Yeah, there was a lot of like, especially like Stadium Stampede. There was a lot.
Yeah, but I think
which
understandable. They're trying to cram a lot of shit in.
It was understandable. Like, but you know what I mean. Versus the standard of maybe one or two. This was like Botchamania's got a lot of content.
I did laugh that like the commentary's trying to put over the whole. Oh, has Kenny like lost a step in this match? Like, is Kenny sort of seeing his best days? And then Coda's like standing right next to him, like, this guy is actually experiencing this. Why are we not? Yeah, he hasn't looked good since coming back, and I think that's probably just because he's had 2 matches.
Oh yeah,
and he had that Bloodsport match, but that doesn't really count because that's not a wrestling match. That's like a fight.
Yeah.
It's like,
so,
no wonder he's like rusty and missing blowing spots.
Yeah, and he hasn't really at any of the Dynamites or anything like that. He's just like, I will be at the next big show where I can't get lost on my way to the arena.
And like, he like every time he does make a slight stuff up, he manages to like save it slightly. Like the Golden Triangle, it's supposed to be hit off the second rope, but he slipped off and was like, screw it, I'll just let's go off the bottom. That'll do.
Yeah. So it was. But anyways, like the whole thing was absolutely, it was especially that the final chase. Like you knew Kenny wasn't winning, but you were like, oh shit, they're gonna have the golden elite win. Is kind of what you expect from a AEW show.
Yep. But they didn't. Takeshita got the sneaky roll-up win, which was
that was a good roll-up. That made it justify the fact of during the press conference they announced it is Omega versus Takeshita at All Out.
Ah, that's very cool. Yeah, I love it.
Tony Khan did say, yes, this is officially happening. This is an official match being made.
Takeshita can now walk around and be like, I beat Kenny in Wembley Stadium. Like, that's going to...
Yeah.
Don will claim that.
Yeah, exactly. That's it.
That's going to get a reaction on Dynamite.
I wouldn't be shocked if Takeshita wins next week as well.
Mm-hmm. And then the commentary was a big standout throughout this first half of the show.
JR, there's so... Oh, my God.
Before we get into JR,
so much...
I liked Nigel's Final Fantasy reference tying in with Kenny's, like, love for Final Fantasy. But JR, he was in full grumpy JR mode this show.
You would think, you know, he had been like working off 2 hours sleep, waking up at 2 a.m. in the morning and going through the motions of, you know, whatever pops in your mind just comes straight out your mouth.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think he was a very soft boy.
The main ones that stood out to me were during this match, which featured the Golden Elite. JR commented, why does everything have to be golden? It's like, and then Excalibur had to explain that Kota Ibushi's name is the Golden Star, his tag team is the Golden Lovers, the trio is the Golden Elite. Like, what the fuck are you thinking, JR? Like, idiot. And then the next match, when the Bucks come out in Freddie Mercury inspired gear, he asks, "Is he here?"
That's what it was. Yeah.
It's like, no.
Yeah. That was. I was trying to sit.
An idiot. And then he also called out.
That's what I was sitting there. I'm like,
FTR got new gear. Like, yeah, no shit. Everyone had new gear for this show.
Well, that's what I was sitting there, and I'm like, for the last couple of minutes, I've been sitting there thinking. He says something about Freddie Mercury, and then I'm like, it wasn't during the Soraya entrance because he'd fucked off. Thankfully,
I was so glad when he left.
Like, what was it? What? Yeah, I was like, because oh my God, him during Stadium Stampede would have been the most unbearable shit of him going, well, that doesn't make any sense. Why are we doing this?
He hates being ringside.
Yeah. So, yeah, no, he, fucking hell. Yeah, why is it so golden?
I love that he hates commentating from ringside, but he's on Collision, where the commentary table is ringside. Not Dynamite, where it's up on the stage.
Yeah.
Like, sucked in, you grumpy old
logic. Yeah. So that was the standout because I was making mental notes whilst I was watching. There's something dumb happens. Something dumb happens. What is it? And then grumpy old man JR.
Is he here? Like, no, he's been dead for like a decade or more.
He's one of those bad say very famous, like you know, well known that he's
dead.
That's it. Yeah, that's
no.
Yeah, exactly. It's very.
You didn't miss that in the news.
Very well documented that he. Yeah, exactly. It's like, man, I really love Queen. Well, did you know Freddie Mercury had AIDS and died because of AIDS? It's just, it's a very common fact. Yeah. It's not like how I swear I thought Bob Barker died like 10 years ago, only to find out he died yesterday.
He had a good innings.
Yeah. No, that is a cricket reference.
Yeah. See, you got it. Karina
I got
did not. The American did not.
Yeah, but that
she looked at me like I
understand that. Yeah, that's kind of, I'm sitting there going, wait, it's not Sakaru. Which one is it? And then he's very well known for passing away. It was a very big event, and it was referenced
goddamn movie
several times throughout the show. Yes, a very famous movie as well. Where I'm so sorry. I'm going to give spoilers to Bohemian Rhapsody, so please, this is a spoiler warning. He dies at the end of the movie. I'm sorry to spoil that for you.
It's like Titanic. You watch Titanic and go, oh shit, the ship sunk.
Yeah.
Like, I know.
Or, like going to watch Hamilton and being like, what?
Or Oppenheimer and being like, oh, they blew up some shit.
I'm going to watch that movie next week in IMAX. Thank you very much for the spoiler.
Whoops.
Shit. That really just blew up my weekend.
Yeah, so then I enjoyed the Golden Elite
Yep.
versus Bullet Club Gold. Pretty solid. I'm excited to see
Yep.
where Bullet Club Gold go from here because New Japan, are they building to a Bullet Club Civil War World War scenario?
You would think so,
Did you watch
but
the video
it's
that they put out
also
this week?
kind of, but I don't really remember much. I think they did say some shit about, oh, we're the real Bullet Club, they're the fake ones, or something like
And
that.
they called out every single Bullet Club group. It was
Oh, was the Rogue
yes,
Army mentioned?
yes.
Oh shit!
That's what I mean. It was
Oh, okay. Oh, I said
it
that as
was
a smart
the
ass.
BC
But, yeah,
original, the House of Torture Bullet
yeah,
Club, the
yeah.
GOD because they were Bullet Club for a while.
Oh, yeah.
BC Gold and
Yeah.
Bullet Club Rogue Army. And like
Oh,
they had
oh
like
shit.
footage
Okay.
from Tamashi shows and like File A
Oh,
being like, we're gonna build this shit bigger than ever, so we're gonna you told us we couldn't do it, we're gonna build it bigger than ever and
yeah.
we're gonna come fight you. It was like, are we like it initially was supposed I think be like Bullet Club Civil War in New Japan, but now it's Bullet Club World War with groups from all over the world.
Everything.
That's why I sent you that
Yeah.
video. I was like, wait, what?
So
They're mentioning everything here. This is awesome.
yeah, I was kind of curious. I must have like went to watch it, then got sidetracked, and then like I was kind of waiting for the cliff notes. I'm like, oh yeah, and then probably sent something else and got completely sidetracked again, as per standard usual. But hey, there's that Wrestle Dream show that's coming up, so that's kind of been
That'd be a cool spot to
very,
do it.
very hint, wink, wink of of a show to do it, because yeah, it really doesn't. You kind of sit there going, all right, well, they look good. Do they go into like a battle royal next? Do they go after the tag belts again, even though they've like lost that? Go for the trios belts, but then it's two tag teams, a team of four, but a tag teams of two.
And
So
New Japan
you
have a
know,
show in Vegas coming up shortly too, so they can build to it
yeah,
there.
but also Jay White's banned from New Japan. Part of his like when he left, the whole thing was he's banned from New Japan, but that's the same as how X is retired and unretires
Yeah,
after a couple of
they can
weeks.
scrap that. Um, just have him invade. Like, don't promote him. Just have him invade. So, okay.
Yeah, that's yeah.
Um, yeah, and also like, have you seen the Natural Classics latest shirt too?
Yeah, I've seen that, yeah, and they're repping it at
I saw
BCW
it.
on
I
the
was like,
weekend, I believe, as well.
is it just me or is that the Japanese flag? I was like,
Yeah.
I'm
So
I'm picking up the breadcrumbs here. Something's happening. Something's happening.
yeah. Something's going on here. I wonder where this is leading to.
And then so we moved to the Bucks versus FTR.
Yeah.
Very emotional moment when FTR came out and took their jackets off and revealed Bray, Brody,
Yeah.
and Jay Briscoe, black armbands.
Yeah.
I was like, Jesus.
Yeah, that's like it was one of the things like I watched like last night was like Paul White talking about Bray, and he's all emotional. He literally just turns around and goes, "Yeah, well, I'm used to it. It happened." Like, you know what I mean? Like, and that's when you're like, "Fuck yeah!" These guys are just, especially the older, the people from Big Show's era of like, yeah, I'm used to seeing people dropping like flies, and it's like, shit, the amount of guys he's like, oh yeah, we're really good friends. Not here anymore. And yeah, the FTR, the bands, and just
Yeah, to lose
it was nice
three mates in 2
tributes.
years is pretty heavy.
Yeah, that's fucking hell. Yeah, that is, and it's all to very just
Yeah,
really shit
not like
circumstances. You know
the
what I
old
mean?
days
Like
where they OD.
it,
Like, it's just natural
yeah,
causes,
just natural causes or
freak
just
accident.
nothing. Yeah, freak accidents, nothing you can do about it, sort of thing. There, and it's like, shit. Yeah, 3 in 2 years is. Phew. Yeah, so FTR definitely went in with a lot of emotional baggage, and they really, it was nice. And like I said, it was also good that they didn't over milk it in terms of like, hitting, the Sister Abigail or, hitting, Harper's stuff, Harper stuff or
Lariat
Ray Drillers and that. It was very...
They kept it simple.
It was very... Yeah, very, very simple.
They called it back to a lot of like...
To change the pace.
FTR Bucks matches, not so much like outside.
Yeah, which was good. Yeah, they kept it in continuity. Yeah, like there was a lot of Cash hitting the 450 split, like springboard 450, which I didn't even know he could.
Yeah, he hit it at full gear in 2020. That was the one callback. I was like, hey, I remember that.
Yeah, I remember that was when they said it was a callback to that. And I'm like, oh yeah. And also there was a good chant of Cash has got a gun.
And a good sign.
And it was...
Fear the revolver.
Yeah, I see that. Like to change the pace completely. That was I can't. It was Cash has got a gun, and just chanting it, and it was like, I'm so shitty it didn't come through on TV, or if it did, I had the volume down because can't blare wrestling at 3 a.m. in the morning. Apparently, that's not okay in a household. And yeah, that was a good change of like, and then Cody made his Cody was on the pay-per-view.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, random.
In that package, that counts. So Cody he has truly crossed the forbidden door. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So, you can't say that they, WWE aren't open to working with other places. There was video footage. They had
a choice, like the elite own that footage. They do it.
It was like, yeah, exactly that. Like, I'm more impressed that I would find video footage of just Cody saying, fuck the revival with.
They had heaps of
other people in the video that.
Remember that was like a massive.
No, I thought a lot of
it was bit on BTE for ages.
Yeah, no, because I feel like 99% of the times it was always Flip or Marty were in the background of every shot.
There was heaps where it was just like him like straight to camera, like fuck the revival.
Oh yeah, true. Yeah, him cutting the promo, going, all right, 1, 2, 3, fuck the revival,
and then Bucks running like
do it again.
Like
but yeah, that was nice to see Cody. Cody got his flowers. He got a nice shout out on the pay per view.
Yeah, my notes for this match are literally, show felt like it was flying by up to this point. It's like we're already a bunch of matches. And I was like, holy crap, this show is going by real quick. And then I had counters galore, which kind of made the match feel a bit clunky in the opening sort of half.
Yeah.
And then they kicked into like, it was like a video game.
Yeah.
It was like, we're trying to build up our special meter, and then all of a sudden each team had like 5 special meters. It was just like finisher. I was like, oh, okay, now the crowd's into it.
Which is standard
Bucks FTR match.
Standard Young Bucks. Yeah, they delivered for the third match in the trilogy. It was perfect. Yeah. I'm shocked. I'm kind of shocked FTR won.
Same.
Because I thought the Bucks will win, but then I was also thinking, then you can't have your tag belts show up on half your shows.
Yeah, that'd be awkward. But they don't show up on half the shows.
They're
very rarely on Dynamite.
Oh, at least they can show up. They're not really on Dynamite, but they can show up on Dynamite versus... Yeah, legally, you're not allowed in the same venue as Punk, so you're not
just
welcome
have to do
here.
The switcheroo each week.
Yeah, exactly. So, but it is... I was just like, it's a big show. All the baby faces win. And the crowd were very kind of split down the middle.
Yeah. I thought it was solid, but I just thought with the whole real life drama going on with Cash that there would be a title change here. And
that's why I was like,
who beats FTR now?
I think it's also more the fact of, wrestlers do a lot of dumb shit. And this is just
more dumb
shit action of the week. Yeah. So, it's... They definitely delivered on a match that really had high expectations.
Yeah, who beats FTR now?
Surely I reckon they'll just go on like a mega run for like another 6 months.
Yeah,
and then in like 6 months
account for Cash's issues.
Yeah, I thought I wouldn't be shocked if it all gets plead down to like a nothing, go a slap on the
Yeah,
wrist of just say you're sorry, shake hands and walk away. Don't come in contact. Don't wave a gun in his face ever
yeah. Probably won't
again,
be allowed to own.
sort of
He
thing.
probably won't get his guns back, which would be kind of fair.
Yeah, so that's all that will be, and again, everyone will just move on from it.
Yeah. I'm thinking, yeah,
Like how Jeff Hardy can't be legally enter a lot of countries.
yeah. I just think, yeah, it has to either be depending on, like, if Edge is coming in, I could see Edge and Christian versus FTR. I could see Proud and
Yeah,
Powerful
that's
versus FTR, and Proud and Powerful finally
Proud
get
and
their like
Powerful. The ones
title
that
run.
should win. They should get their title run, but I think it's one of those things that I wouldn't be shocked if they knock them off at Full Gear, but also then I wouldn't be shocked if Edge comes in and they just like have Christian completely drop his character and change overnight because it's like, oh yeah, no, we're doing this nostalgia run. Yeah. Everyone forget about the whole dead dad jokes and all that sort of stuff there.
Yeah,
Yeah, Edge is here, so I'm running back there, and they drop the belts to them, and then they drop them to the Hardys, and then the Hardys drop them to someone
yeah.
else or whatever.
I just
Like Hot
I just want to see
Potato
it.
and all.
If
I,
Edge comes in, they have to do Edge and Christian
yeah,
versus the Hardys versus the Bucks in TLC. Just like replace the
that's
Dudleys with
kind
the
of where
Bucks.
you kind of see it go. Yeah, it's kind of where you
Well,
expect.
you
it to
could
go,
you could even chuck FTR in
at
that and
this
just do
stage.
like a 4-way TLC. That'd be cool.
Yeah,
And then that way
and that's
FTR
it.
can
That's
lose
like
without losing.
that's how I see. That's 100. I don't think that they're going to lose the
Clean.
belts straight to another team. I think it's just going to be a part of a multi-man thing where they are protected
Yeah.
very well in defeat.
Then we get into the crazy bullshit. Stadium Stampede.
The
which
fuckery
JR
match,
was
yes.
Out of here. Thank Christ.
Yep.
BCC come out dressed as very British gangsters, which was kind of cool.
Yep. That was cool.
Huge pop for Eddie Kingston on his entrance, who immediately just
Yep.
charged Claudia.
Yeah, and then those two they went off walking about the arena together.
And then Moxley got skewered.
Yep, and they were hanging in there nice and deep. I thought Penta was like going to smash the chair into the skewers, which is a spot I've seen happen quite a bit.
It looked so much worse because the rubber band didn't come off.
Yeah, hadn't.
So they didn't like spread. It was just like all the weight was hanging. I was like, oh, that must suck.
Yeah, and he's in the clump.
I was like, that must suck. And then you see him
And
just like, try and flick the rubber band off and did. And I was like, oh.
There was just so much in that match. Like it was honestly what you'd expect from a Stadium Stampede. It was a little bit above a Anarchy in the Arena, but it was also again just Anarchy in the Arena in a stadium, which is what Stadium
Was
Stampede
originally supposed to be.
realistically is.
Not some recorded cinematic.
Yeah, it was just pre-taped because well, they could get away with it because
COVID.
Well, why not? Yeah, that's it. It's just like I said, it's like how they did a Money in the Bank pre-tape match once. Doesn't mean it always should be that way. So no, it was perfect. The fact they went all the way up to the top of the arena and come all the way back down.
I like that Moxie calling back to like the thing that made him like a major name on the deathmatch scene, the pulling out a fork. Like that's cool.
Yeah.
And then
I thought you were going to say he brought out a
he just got
buzzsaw.
the fork out and stabbed Orange. No, he didn't stab Orange Cassidy, did he? Didn't Yuta stab Orange Cassidy in the back of the head or something? You're like, oh.
Yeah, he did.
Which,
Yeah.
That's continuing that Yuta becoming a psychopath and actually hurting people. I wasn't a fan of the Penta getting injured spot, like injured.
Yeah.
Purely just for a costume change.
Yeah, that was especially when like
because he started the match.
I'm not a Penta expert. Yeah, no, because he's changed. He went to Penta. He changed his name because he became the dark version of himself or something.
It was also like
I'm not very familiar with.
He started the match in his black and white gear, and then
because he was
and then
Penta
went backstage and came back as
Malnuro.
Penta Oscuro, but wearing red. I was like, Was
Yeah.
Obscuro the black one?
No. Obscuro's the evil version. Black version's just normal Penta on a regular day. That's the ultra demon mode version of him, which
in red. Like, that's cool.
Yeah, and then he just comes out and hits a I think that was meant to be a Canadian destroyer off that
Until
ladder.
it just fucking collapsed out from under them. All the legs came off.
I think that's what they were going for. And then he just hits a powerbomb, and then it's like, that's it. And then during the press conference backstage, he's back to his black gear. It's like as if he built up like a special, and it caused him to do a costume change, and then the special ran out, so he de-evolved like a fucking Digimon.
He got the star power.
Yeah. That was it. He ran a mark, and then he ran out of it. He's like, oh, boom, boom, boom. Like, yeah, that was weird. Sue showing up, but then it was funny because Sue wasn't driving the van.
It was a Mercedes-Benz
and
van.
they're trying to pretend like...
It was the English.
Yeah.
Sue's English.
Because, they're like... Yeah, but then the funny thing is, like, she had a driver... And the commentary team, hey, look, Sue's got an international driver's license. It's like, she's on the wrong side of the car. That's not how it works.
She was on the American side.
Even though there was like, but they're talking about how she's driving the car. And it's like, what?
I didn't pick that up at the first. But now you she's sitting on the left.
Yeah. But that's the thing, is I don't think anyone else really would have picked up on that, because again, everyone else would have been like, yeah, she's on the left. That's where they drive. It's like,
not in England.
No, not here. No, not there. And that, they had the guy had to drive the car out for her, and it's just weird because it was like a tradies van as well, so it wasn't even a station wagon. It was just a tradies van. Like, it's just more the fact of, Sue wanted to go to England, so we found a way to bring her into the show.
This match was just hectic. Like, barbed wire kendo sticks, barbed wire pipes, barbed wire boards, full Clockwork Orange mode with them using umbrellas as weapons. And best friends were just getting destroyed. Orange Cassidy was bleeding a lot for an Orange Cassidy.
Oh yeah, he was
Also, I hate the fans.
And then the tight glove.
Hardcore matches where they're using all this crazy shit. Like, they're using forks, they're using barbed wire kendo sticks and barbed wire tables, and then there's still a "We Want Tables" chant. What the fuck? What do you want?
Yeah. Exactly that. Yeah.
They're using barbed wire and glass, but you want them to use a table. You see a table every week. Who cares?
Yeah, well, all I'll say is, like, the ladders that they had for this match were so weird to see indie weapons on a major show.
Mm-hmm.
They were basically, they looked like they just got 2 ladders from fucking Bunnings Warehouse, painted them black, and that was it. And the tables were, again, they looked like they were those beer pong tables that they just removed the beer pong cups off. Yeah. So they had like little circles like, in the and flimsy as shit, which again is a very
like indie tables where they're like plywood and they just screw some legs onto them.
No, because they had like little holes on them, like, you know what I mean, like as if it's like some sort of like game table or whatever. They just like strip the stuff off, which is a very indie thing to do as well. Of like, oh yeah, we bought a ping pong table and just removed the ping pong net, and that's our table for the show. That I found on Facebook Marketplace for $5, so that's our spot.
Yeah, the ladders were dodgy. When all the like rungs collapsed, I was like, oh, that could have been bad.
And it's just weird because I'm like, it's just funny because WWE were just there for Money in the Bank, and they still had all their professional proper ladders. Like, I understand you're not going to take over 30 ladders to there, but like, at least have 2. You know what I mean? Like proper ladders, or just go to Bunnings and buy an orange one. Do it safely. Don't have these flimsy ass ladders. A
couple of other spots that I really liked were the best friends hugging Wheeler Yuta, basically forcing him to hug him, and then hitting him with the awful waffles. Like, oh, yep, he's dead.
Yep, it was like, oh, come give us a hug, and then beating the crap out of him.
The scary Ortiz and Trent fall off the top rope. That was also terrifying.
That was, yeah, again, that was another one of like, oh shit. And then like you seen like the amount of space out on the outside where they had done that suplex, and you're like, whoa, that is tight.
That could have been bad as well. Claudio's,
and then, the
Claudio's
Taipei
European uppercut
fucking
was
glove.
huge. Like the pop-up European, massive.
Yeah.
And then, yeah.
Insane.
Orange Cassidy hitting the orange punch with the broken glass fist. It's cool.
Yeah. Eddie Kingston coming back and like just spearing Moxley through a freaking barbed wire board was very fitting. At the end of the match is him just like flipping off Moxley the whole time while they like tangled together in barbed wire.
I love that they played that into the finish, where the only way for that team, Best Friends and Eddie's team, to win was for Eddie to hurt Mox. When like that whole like
that was
the promo on Collision, where he was like,
"Yep,
Yuta, I'm gonna kill you."
Yep.
Who else was there? Someone else. I'm gonna kill you. Claudio, I'm especially gonna kill you. Moxley, don't get in my way. I don't want to hurt you. It's like, wait, what?
Yeah, and then Moxley got in the way. Yeah, because he came back out with the barbed wire. Yeah, because he had the barbed wire chair, which is weird considering last time there was like an Anarchy in the Arena Stadium Stampede. He come out with a bottle of petrol trying to start a fire.
Yeah, I don't think they were allowed. They were definitely not allowed.
So
to
it was nice. I'm like, I think because I'm like, why is this? Like, I was expecting it to come out like a rag and like him just having a flaming chair. And I think it was like Wembley might have very strict rules on flaming objects in their stadium. It's very safe to say that might be the case.
And then, my last note was, no Brian, no Nigel. Bit sad.
Yeah, that was odd that like because I thought Brian was going to come out,
especially
and, like,
after Nigel called him out
counteract
at the start of the match, like
at the start of it, and then and then the fact that like I don't know if it was probably wasn't after this match, it was probably the next match where Nigel comes out and gives the attendance record. And I'm like messaging, going, oh fuck, it's happening, expecting Brian just to walk out.
That didn't happen till after
and be like,
Jericho.
Yeah, like just come out and be like next year or soon or like when it's time. It's
that's
time.
all I wanted.
You know what I mean?
Play Final Countdown and just have them do a stare down. Like I heard what you said. You've been calling me a clam digger for the last 6 months, and then tonight you called me fragile. Yeah. When my arm is fixed, I'm gonna fuck you up.
Exactly. That's
especially after Nigel the prick
Nigel posted a photo of him
tweeted out that he had gear made. I was like, you asshole! Don't tease me like that.
So, I guess we'll but that was odd. But I was getting a bit ahead of myself there.
We need that match.
With the no Nigel and no doubt Brian stuff.
Well, they're going back next year. Do it. Just run it.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't have long with those two. So
we'll just hold it off
when you can.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's also what's like. Oh, we'll do it next year. It's like, maybe next week might be safer, reliable.
So then we move into the women's match, which was solid fatal 4-way, nothing like outstanding. I think maybe the coolest part of this whole match were the entrances, with Saraya entering with the entire Knight family to We Will Rock You. I was like, this is cool. Thank God JR's not here. He'd be asking where Freddie Mercury was again. And then Nigel taking shots when Britt made her entrance at the English teeth situation.
Oh, yeah.
Very good. Also, why did Tony enter to the God Save the Queen, the English national anthem?
I don't know. I still don't even understand her whole thing at the moment. Is she trying to be like I'm unique and I'm different, so I'm going to pretend like I'm a 50s movie star because that hasn't been done.
I think she's doing the whole
by people.
Marilyn Monroe, like shit didn't go right, so now I've lost.
Yeah, that whole thing. Yeah, which is weird because again, that whole thing doesn't make sense with considering she was pinned to lose the match, but she lost the belt ages ago, and you could have just not had Shida as champion and got the same result at the end of it, the same impact.
That made no sense to me. Like,
it was just weird, especially considering you
have the belt in front of the biggest crowd after having the belt in front of zero crowd. But
you always knew Saraya was coming out with the belt.
Just put her in the match, especially when Saraya's pinning Tony anyway. So
yeah, that's it. It was just like this makes okay. Yep, she entered as champion, I guess. So it was just something. It was
very weird.
But yeah, then Tony knocking out Saraya's mom. And,
on that front,
Tony
did nothing wrong.
No.
Every time she hit Saraya or pinned Saraya or even hit her mum, it was all accidental. Like, she hit her mum because someone moved, so she hit her mum. She hit Saraya after someone moved. When she went to pin Saraya, it was because she got kicked and fell on her. She never went after Saraya, but Saraya went after her.
But then you're missing the main story, which is she's used to fighting with her family. She's now fighting for her family.
Thanks, okay.
I'm just saying, she's now fighting for her family, in front of her countrymen and women.
So I think the outcasts are done.
I think that's good. Like it's kind
of outcasts seem done.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
Thank God. That never really.
The whole thing is like the outcasts. Yeah, it kind of ran its course when it wasn't going to blood and guts, which is where it should have gone. But shit happens, plans change. That's the nature of live wrestling. Unfortunately, shit changes a lot. And there's just kind of like it was meandering towards the end of it, and like you could tell, like I'm pretty sure the plan was always Jamie versus. It was either Jamie versus Saraya or Jamie versus Tony, Saraya, and like Britt. In a 4-way, but it's a tag match.
Yeah, I think it was probably
meant to be the plan.
I don't think Shida was supposed to be in this match.
Yeah, that's exactly. I think Shida took, and the whole focus was meant to be. Can they not kill each other? Sort of,
Yeah, it's the two tag teams.
Saraya gets the pin.
4-way instead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
it would have been nice if
that's where I always.
Jamie come out and confront Saraya, but I guess they wanted to give Saraya her moment. Maybe next week.
Yeah, a lot of that was very much, even in the post interviews, it was all about giving Saraya her flowers and being like, this is your second chance. And she did talk about it a lot. Like she's writing a book, and this is actually the final chapter in her book because like she talked about it in the press conference. She's like, oh yeah, when I was in the go position and I was told, like, it must have been like, even though I'm probably told fucking days ago or whatever, but she was told, yep, 100% you're winning. She's like, perfect. That's the last chapter of my book written. End of the book is her standing tall with the belt. So
but
that
the
was
press
pretty
conference,
cool.
did they mention Jamie at all? No, they just mentioned Mercedes.
No, there was. He did say the only time he said it was just like, yeah, I wanted Jamie. Jamie and Pac were meant to be mega parts of the show,
obviously,
and they're injured. Shit happens. Roll with the punches, and
Like you think about it, they lost 3 big players for this show. Jamie, Pac.
Oh yeah,
that's like.
Yeah, that's literally said.
I think,
but I think he also talked about how,
with them coming back next year, you chuck those 3 on the show, you could probably hit another 80. Especially if you put them all in feature
I think
matches.
that's kind of what the.
Don't put them in multi-man. Like put them in feature singles, and you'll hit that 80.
Yeah, and that's it. And who knows what the card's going to be next year, sort of thing there. But at least it gives you something to work with. So, knowing Tony Khan, he's probably already got it all booked out. He's just kind of hoping people don't get suspended.
As long as everyone stays fit and healthy, then he can get to that.
Yeah, and Punk doesn't ban him from the building.
I think that's kind of been his issue the last 12-ish months. Like, I think he's had all these plans planned out, and then shit just happens. It's like, fuck. now I've got to shuffle things, and then that
like
shuffling to fix one issue is creating 3 more issues. Which is why shows are
I think that's what because he did
last minute thrown together.
Yeah, like because he did say something about like after Double or Nothing last year, Brian's out, Punk's gone, Cole's gone, everyone all went down at the start of the summer, and they were the big 4 linchpins for the summer. So everything kind of had to be rewritten very fast. So, but yeah, look, it was a good women's 4-way. Like I said, it was very, it was definitely kind of kicked it into the second part of the show, kind of started kicking off there. So, yeah, it was good. Shirai got her whole thing. Very predictable. It would be interesting to see. They did cut to Sasha or Monet a couple of times and whatnot.
Not in that match, though,
there's history there that they. Oh, didn't they?
They only cut to her in after the tag match at the start and after the Acclaimed match and in the middle of the Acclaimed match.
Okay. She was impressed with Daddy Ass. That's why. I mean, sorry. Badass Billy Gunn.
So yeah, after the women's match, jumped into the coffin match. Couple of notes I had here. Terrible lip syncing in the entrance.
Yeah, that was my coffee time.
Rapper was nowhere near on time with the rap.
That's bad.
Despite that, Swerve was over huge. Great reaction for Swerve. Jack the Ripper Sting appeared. That was very cool. And then
Joker Sting.
And then, the Impact Twitter account was like right on it and like, hey, here's this Sting versus Christian match from one of our shows 20 years ago. Like, okay, cool.
Like, it's funny because I was literally going to message you that going like, picture just going back
10 years ago.
Oh, when would that be? No, I think it'd be like 15, which is kind of scary how far back that is. Going back, whatever time period when Sting and Christian were in TNA together, and being like, oh yeah, these 2 guys are going to have a coffin match at Wembley Stadium in front of 80,000 fans.
80 fans.
Oh yeah, and it's not. That's probably what Impact would do nowadays. 80,000 fans, and it's like, it's a coffin match. Oh, it's not for Impact, not for WWE. It's for this other freaking third, secondary company that's being massively taken off. What's you trying to explain that to someone back then, being like, wait, what? Sting's still wrestling? Christian's still wrestling? They're in a coffin match? What? Yeah, it is insane. Darby took some insane fucking bumps on that.
And like during Sting's entrance, this was the first time we got the fireflies in the crowd. Nice little sort of tribute thing. That was very cool.
Like, yeah.
But yeah,
so
Darby,
no, it was solid.
We had thumbtack jackets.
Yeah.
Quick bat. Very cool. Very.
Sting didn't use properly. He's doing the Stinger splash, not the
with his back.
Yeah. So he just kept Stinger splashing him, and they had to like sell it like as if they were getting hit with tax.
I liked the cricket bat instead of the baseball bat. Classic Sting in the UK.
Yep. Yep.
Darby hitting a no hands springboard moonsault with his hands tied behind his back. Like, wow. That was nuts.
Yeah.
And then he hit the coffin drop from the top buckle to the coffin on the floor.
To the floor.
What the hell?
You could see the bump and the dents in that, and it was at that point I'm like, picture being the prop person, and your job's to go to a funeral home to pick out a coffin for this match. And they're like, oh, who unfortunately passed away? It's like, oh, no, we're going to use it as a prop. Someone's going to jump and, bounce on this thing a lot.
We need a metal one, but it can't be, too thick. Like, it needs to have some give in it. It can't be solid oak or steel.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, oh, okay, like, yeah, and being you have to explain, oh yeah, no, we're just going to destroy this thing. We're not using it for its intended purpose. It's a prop on a TV on a show in the middle of Wembley Stadium.
Uh,
I can picture that conversation being, what the
yep.
fuck is going
And
on?
Nick Wayne took a pretty nasty bump too with the
Oh yeah, that was good that he was on the show. Like you knew he was always going to do
yeah
a run in.
the choke slam onto the skateboard. I was like, that would have sucked. And then
Yep, yeah, Luchasaurus looked like a
coffin
beast.
drop on the coffin.
Yeah,
Scorpion death drop on the coffin. And
yeah.
then
At least this time the coffin didn't have to be raised to the roof like last time Sting was in a coffin match with
yeah, that
Abyss.
was dumb. And then
Yep.
technically Swerve didn't lose. His hair was
Yeah,
hanging out.
the hair was it was just hanging out.
But
So it'll be interesting to see when the rematch happens.
I loved like Sting making the save with the baseball bat though. That was very cool.
Yeah, that was really good. Like that was very smart because it's like, haha, yes, here's your bat. Like I loved how they really did the match
And
perfectly. Like it
yeah,
wasn't like they
it
worked
let
with the
like
coffin.
it let Swerve like really kick the shit out of that lid so it slammed down and then it was like nope. That so
Yeah,
very cool. I liked like that was
that,
just a super
that
fun match. It was chaotic, but it was really cool.
that's it. Yeah, it was one of those things I realized this match had so many hardcore matches on it.
Yeah, there was a lot of no rules matches.
The like, yeah, no rules matches because I'm like, because that's when like the next match is like, oh, sorry, the House of Black match. I'm like, it's a no holds barred match. I'm like, here we go. I'm like hoping it just means because it's just a tornado match, and luckily that was because I'm like after the coffin match and that
Yeah,
it's like,
we don't need more
okay,
weapons used.
yep.
Um,
But yeah, no, that was I really, really, and I love the fact it was just you have to put one of your opponents in the coffin as well, so it wasn't like the stupid
yeah.
2-in
I also
situation.
I also found it
And
funny,
yeah,
like, yeah, they put Sting in a tag match so he doesn't have to, like, do too much. And then Sting takes a shit ton of crazy bumps anyway. It's like, what? You're 68. Calm down.
yeah, classic Sting,
Like, let Darby take all the
classic,
crazy
classic.
bumps.
Yeah. So no, it was solid match.
And then the match I was most hyped for, Will Ospreay versus Jericho, very cool. I loved the Fozzy entrance was, yeah, what it was. Nothing cool. Nothing overly special.
Yeah, but the callback to
But
Freddie Mercury.
the orchestral opening to Elevated I thought was awesome. And I love that
Yeah, he's had that for a
he came
while.
out with gear inspired by the original Aerial Assassin gear that he
Yeah,
wore on that
yeah, that
PWG debut. It was like, oh shit, yeah, this guy's cool.
yeah. Yeah, I'm from England because I have the British flag on my tights. Did you know I'm British? You know, original Osprey, yes.
Which
The aerial assassin that
yeah,
is from England.
which brought about a funny comment from Karina too. She basically said, Will Ospreay equals UK Cody.
That's
I
one
was
my
like,
own, yeah. Because of the Cody
and
cutter.
the Cody wearing the like
The
American flag
patriotism.
gear. I was like, funny, cool.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep. I can definitely say that. I definitely like the fans singing along to it. Both the entrances was so freaking good, and the fact that Jericho worked the Rev Pro show is so a sentence you thought you would never
Jericho and
say.
Sky Blue worked that Rev Pro show alongside the
Yeah,
Velocities.
Chris Jericho's on. Yep, there you go. The Velocities could say they have been on a show with Jericho in the UK, which is a very random thing to say.
Jericho, Ospreay, Shingo, Zack,
And it was not a New Japan show. That you know he can't cheat by going,
Shibata,
oh well, it was New Japan, so it doesn't really.
just nuts. And they
Yeah,
had a viral moment. Well, Paris did, because Paris is a psychopath.
yeah,
Shooting Star DDT
which is yeah,
every
just
day.
told it. Yeah, yeah. I got sent by like people that going, hey, did you see this clip? I'm like, I'm well aware of that one. I got sent like 20 minutes after it got posted. I got that sent several times during the day. I'm like, okay, yeah, this is a truly viral moment.
I've seen
then.
this live. I think I saw him
Yeah.
hit that the first time he ever hit it. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, it's insane. It's always so clean.
But yeah, on this match, I think we hit most of it earlier.
Earlier, Jericho just looked very out of his depth a little bit.
The finish,
and the whole thing at the end,
cool. Kicking out of the Stormbreaker only to get hit with a hidden blade in the face,
clean.
And then a second Stormbreaker to finish.
Yeah,
like they still made Jericho look strong in the finish. Like he had to eat a crap ton of finishes.
He looked strong, but he was pinned clean in the center of the ring. You know, you can't get better setting Ospreay up than that. The thing is, I was convinced Sammy was going to screw him. Like, you know, but then I'm like, you can't screw him because it kind of like puts an asterisk next to the Ospreay win. That's kind of dumb. So I'm like, okay, well, obviously after the match something's happening.
And then Sammy just got bitched out.
Sammy just looks like an idiot.
What are you doing?
Yeah, Sammy's just standing there, go like a lost puppy dog, and it's like, oh boy, that's a pillar of the company. Sure,
they have to follow that up on Dynamite and set up a match all out. Maybe.
Sure. That's exactly. That's why I thought he was going to attack him, and then they set up a match, and Jericho's got to get his win back by beating Sammy. Yeah, wow.
I hope if
after
they're going to
him out,
they have to let Sammy go over. Especially because
that's exactly it. I'm like, no way.
Getting a face reaction.
Yeah, people are starting to just not hate him.
And then from there we got the announcement thing with no Nigel, no Brian, with Nigel but no Brian. Yeah, it is what it was. Acclaimed versus House of Black. House of Black coming out in all white gear, which was cool. Malachi looks terrifying in all white, strangely. The lantern entrance.
Yeah, Buddy putting down the lantern was like a real oh fuck.
Very sad.
Yeah.
Moment. Followed up by Max with a controversial rap.
Yeah, it is the most bipolar shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're very oh fuck, they've got the lantern. Oh fuck.
Very sad memorial.
You know what I mean? Just
to Prince Andrew jokes.
You know what I mean? They just came out and everyone's doing the Firefly thing. And then but it's like, oh fuck, the lantern's there. Shit. And then it's the Acclaim coming out and the lantern's still sitting there. And then he goes, hey, Prince Andrews. And you're like, oh fuck, that's funny. And you're like, oh yeah, was I not just really sad 13 seconds ago?
Prince Andrew, Meghan Markle, Harry Potter jokes. Okay.
Yep. 3 very
jokes.
Controversial statements. Yeah, I will give him credit. That's a very broad spectrum of controversial topics on, very either ends of the political spectrum of things. And one in the middle. So
I don't know.
He
Harry
kind of got left, right, and center.
Thanks to JK.
Yeah, that's very controversial on the left. Meghan Markle on the right because people in the Royal Society are idiots.
I think Prince Andrew. I think
Phil's a pedophile.
Everyone can agree on
Andrew's a pedophile. That's in the middle. Everyone kind of goes, yeah, no, fuck that guy. You know what I mean? That's what I mean. That is really good work that he was able to piss off both sides and then have them agree in the middle of, yeah, fuck that pedophile. So yeah, that is incredible, and the reaction that he got for it was insane.
And then we got a Sesame Timbers on Julia Hart, which was pretty fun. Yep.
That it is always good seeing Bowens scissor a woman.
And then 80,000 fans barking along with Brody King. I thought that was very cool.
That was so good. The just the loud scissor. I can only imagine the audio of up in the upper bowls of people chanting "Sesame Daddy." Just picture you walk past fucking Wembley Stadium, not knowing what's going on, and you could just hear from inside the arena, "Sesame Daddy ass." Like, would you not be
What is
going?
going on in there?
What the fuck is going on in there?
And then, yeah, like I mentioned,
Like, you know what I mean? Like, you live in the area. You're like, oh, it's
damn
fucking,
fireworks.
7 o'clock at night. Better take my little dog. Yeah, better go take my dog for a walk. And it's like, what is the fuck is? Why are they saying "Sesame Daddy"? What, like, I would be like, I need to go in there. I need to
100%.
investigate.
And then, yeah,
But yeah, it was solid match.
Mercedes shown mid-match. So Mercedes versus Julia. Book it, Tony.
Yeah, no, that is good. Very perfect. Very big clashing of the minds there.
Then they showed Mercedes again, just like vibing out to the acclaimed music at the end with a big scissor party.
She just everyone loves the Acclaim. Like they got me good. Like you knew that the show, like when they, like everyone had said, oh, this is the card. I'm like, the Acclaim have to be on it. If the Acclaim aren't on it, then like people will genuinely crack the shits. That is the biggest missed opportunity. And then like when they said, oh, it's for the belts, I'm like, they have to win. If they don't win, then their people will be shitty. And yeah, they got you good at the end, like the Black Mass, like they made Billy Gunn look. The greatest thing AEW has ever done is made people give a shit about Billy Gunn. You know what I mean? Like that is some insane booking right there.
What was I gonna say? I laughed at Billy Gunn. Literally, instead of saying "suck it," like literally told Julia to suck his dick. I was like, oh
Yeah,
that's
he was fired up.
very in the face. No subtleties.
Yep, they he can't he can't hit a copyright claim on that. He's not beating around the bush. He's just straight up saying it.
And then main event time, MJF versus Adam Cole for
Yep.
the AEW World Championship. Had a real big fight feel with the entrances and the introductions. And then they went to t-shirt mode, like pretty much straight away. They put their t-shirts back on.
Yeah.
And did you notice the MJF's elbow pad?
Yeah, it was like my
brochachos.
brochachos.
Very fun.
Yeah. So it was a very, like, I feel like it was a very polarizing main event, as in terms of it was a very WWE-esque fuck around.
Yeah, it was a very like
story. This is
story
cinema.
Heavy, not in-ring match, action heavy.
Considering that's all you get with Roman Reigns in WWE main events, it's very weird that's like it fits the story. Like I get why they're doing it. 100% support that. It's just people are starting to get sick of that shit with WWE with the hour-and-a-half main event that has 2 rest holds in it, and that's it. The rest of it is them standing around looking at each other going, oh, I don't want to attack you, you're my brother. And just
Days of our lives, stare into the camera moments.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's exactly it. At least this was done in a way where, yeah, it fucked around for the last 10-15 minutes, but that was it. Versus a Roman Reigns match where it's at least half an hour of fuckery, minimum, 45. Sort of thing there.
Interesting that Adam Cole was hitting a lot of like heel moves and MJF was hitting a lot of face moves as well. That was unexpected.
Very off.
But also,
very
like,
weird
kind
dynamic.
of what they've been building towards the whole time as well.
Yeah, so I think everyone was expecting him to, like, Adam Cole to turn heel, win the belt. But the thing is, I was like, everyone also thought Punk was going to show up, but he didn't. And then it's like, okay, so where are we going? Are we doing the title for title thing next week? Are we not doing it?
Yeah. Like what we were saying before the show even started. Like, it was one of those weird main events where it could have gone either way, and you'd have been like, yeah, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, that's exactly it. And you know what I mean? They did it the right way. Like, the double clothesline spot was dumb, considering that's like a standard, double clothesline down, lay down on the mat for 5 minutes sort of thing. And like I get the double clotheslines, their ultimate tag team finisher because it's so dumb. But then it's like you can't do a double down spot then because it's in the main event of fucking Wembley that caused a double pin.
Was weird, the double pin.
Yeah, and then like that's what I mean. Like that was, it felt very like then they reset the match, and I get that's a callback to the 5 more minutes. No, fuck the 5 minutes. Let's just go for as long as it takes.
And he said, "Fuck."
Yeah, a lot of storytelling, a lot of cinema, and yeah, Cole lost because of a freaking roll.
There were a couple of
inside cradle.
Crazy moves though, like MJF hitting the powerbomb onto his knee. I was like, that looks horrible.
The brainbuster on the steel stairs was scary.
The brainbuster on the steps. I was like, that could have gone real bad, real fast. But they seemed fun. Yeah, Cole was definitely like in killer mode for that sequence.
Oh yeah, he looked the best out of everything.
And
everyone
I loved
in the match.
the Eddie spot. And they were, ref was down, tossed the chair back forwards. Cole lays down, and then MJF just goes, okay, just puts the chair over his head. I was like, that's great. That's such a good, like, I'm not going to get caught. I'm a bigger dickhead and know how to work this better than you.
Yeah. So, the MJF outsmarted him this time. And then, the fact of, it ended, like, the ending was interesting. Like, the last couple of minutes, like, how after the match, all that fucking around with Roddy, like, they've never explained why he's wearing a neck brace.
No, isn't it because MJF hit a power driver on him or something? I think it was there was like a match that happened on like Collision or something, and he got hurt.
Okay,
it was just weird that like Roddy was out there encouraging Adam to cheat, and Adam just wouldn't do it. And then Roddy left, and MJF just hits him with the small package roll up, and still champ.
Yeah.
So Punk versus MJF for the undisputed world title next week, maybe.
Well, they didn't tease. This is the interesting thing. There was nothing said at the post-show conference.
And no teasers
but also,
after the match. It was just kind of like, hey, look, we've still got the ROH titles.
But then,
okay.
So, I don't know. I would like to, like, it's weird because you can't not have a title match on the biggest show ever, like, because that is one of the things that is interesting, because clearly that would be the most logical option, is to do title for title. But then that's a match that you should be building
which
months for. Like, I mean, not months for. Like, you can pull it out of your ass going, well, go to the well, but you want to have more than just 1 week.
Especially with those two. You want those two cutting promos on each other for like a month.
And then it's also smack bang in the middle of MJF's other feud, so it's kind of a second fiddle thing.
It's very strange. Like, I guess they've kind of been teasing it, like with Punk calling himself the real world champ and having the other title, but it would feel slapdash if it's just like all of a sudden, like, oh yeah, now this weekend in like 4 days, by the time Dynamite happens, in 4 days we're doing to crown the undisputed AEW world champion.
Yeah, and that's exactly it. But it's also one of those things of, I wouldn't, like, the whole backstage incident, Punk probably being suspended again is kind of going to fuck everything right
sounds
up.
of it, I don't think Punk will be suspended. I think.
But it's also one of those things of, like, is it? Yeah, Jungle Boy might be having a bit of a break. What's it called? It's
there was also that news of apparently a new belt of some form.
Probably just the trios belts.
That's true.
Because the House of Black had their custom versions, so it's probably the trio belts. Probably got a bit of a refresh.
Yeah. Or do they just?
But it's also one of those things of, like, at the paper
change, like, one of the AEW world titles, like the real world title gets like its own belt.
Yeah.
And they call it the Collision title or something.
Yeah. You would think, because the thing is, I reckon I wouldn't be shocked if, like, MJF and Adam Cole open all out in a tag match against Roddy and that.
That's all right. We'll close up because I can use the web recording.
Only your.
Yeah.
I've had my.
Probably filled your hard drive or something.
Yeah, I've had my boss message. Are you going to fucking do some work?
All in 2024, they've already pre-announced for August 25.
Oh.
Next year, very interesting to see them going back. I would have liked to see All In become like more of a traveling show to use as their. Okay, this is our European debut. We're running an All In. This is our Australia debut. We're running an All In. But it looks like it's just going to become an annual show now and add to their pay-per-view. I think they have 7 pay-per-views now for this year. When you add that Wrestle Dream. So there'll be 7 for this year.
Well, then you got Wrestle Dream as well. Yeah. So it'd be interesting. Look, I wouldn't be shocked, like, as I was just saying, before MJF and that open all out in a tag match for the Ring of Honor tag belts and Punk main events with his fake world title because it's Chicago. So it flips the card.
Basically a 1 week build for this.
But yeah, that's, it will be interesting to see where they go from here the next couple of weeks. Yeah, and then, like I said, you got a Wrestle Dream, then all, Full Gear. Yeah, they've got a lot of time to kill all of this shit, so
what would you say was the match of
Yeah, I forgot all about that. So, yeah.
Yeah, I think so. That or the coffin match, honestly.
Shit, Stadium Stampede? Just because it's more my car crash style of...
It didn't hit the heights that I was hoping for.
Yeah. Like, Ospreay and that was good, because Ospreay's just so free. Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? Like, tag match was great.
Show rating, I think this is a 5.
But I love a good car crash.
There wasn't anything that was, like, bad.
So... Yeah, 5. Like, there was literally when the worst match is the trios opening Kenny Omega match was good. It was a main event of a Road to New Japan show. Is considered an insult.
The Mercedes surprise.
I think your show's gone very well. I think everyone that doubted the show is
crazy
eating a bit of shit.
It was cool.
Yeah, it's so funny because I jokingly messaged you. I jokingly messaged you going, who's going to be in the crowd like NXT style as a joke.
That's AEW
and then they
All
did it.
In 2023 now, I guess we have to call it.
Yeah. Not a problem.
Thank you, everyone, for listening to the commentary booth. If you enjoyed the show, please remember to rate, review, and subscribe on podcast services and on YouTube. You can follow Jason on Twitter at JasonUki with 2 E's. And you can follow me on social media at JamieUpsMedia and at Pario Magazine. Commentary Booth is a fan-funded production of Jamie Apps Media. You can support the podcast alongside our magazine, Pario Magazine, on Patreon at patreon.com/Jamie Apps Media. The following people supported at the publisher level or higher, and you cannot fathom how incredibly appreciative we are for their support.